Well, welcome to DCC Decoded on TrainMasters.TV. I'm here again with John from TCS. You may remembered some of his other visits that he's had. We had TCS come and show us their WOW decoder with steam. TCS has teamed up with a new manufacturer named Korea Brass. Actually, they've been around for a little bit. And John, you want to tell us what your venture is with Korea Brass?
Sure, I'd love to. First, a little bit of history. You mentioned Korea Brass, and that may be a name that a lot of people aren't familiar with, but Korea Brass is a locomotive manufacturer, been around since 1984, and they make a lot of locomotives for other big name model brands. Very likely that if you've been modeling for any length of time, you probably have some Korea Brass locomotives and don't know it. It's just that they're labeled under somebody else's name,
Gotcha.
Right? Well, what's happening here with Korea Brass, they've been making models for others for so long, they're looking to develop their own name. And so they're coming out with their own Korea Brass line. What's exciting for TCS is that we're partnering with them in providing the WOW sound decoder with their fine locomotives. So we're going to have two great products come together, and I think modelers are really going to love it for lots of reasons we'll get into.
Well, that's great. So this is the first time that your decoder, especially with WOW sound in it, has been in a ready-to-run locomotive.
That's correct, and that's exciting for us. It's the first time for us, and that's a milestone that we're glad we achieved. And it's very exciting, yeah.
You can be very proud of that. And now, one of the things with Korea Brass, people would think, is it a brass locomotive? And really, it is in this particular case, it is a plastic locomotive with very high-end detail brass pieces, parts or detail parts, right?
Correct. Even though the name Korea Brass could throw you off to think that all models are brass, no, it's not really the case. It's basically a plastic model, but there are brass detail parts on it. I'll point out a few things.
Sure.
The vent grates back here is etched brass. They are see-through. Over here, there's some air tanks down inside there, which are visible through the etched brass grating here. Also on the side is etched brass grating along here, which is see-through. You can even, inside here, you can see the fans, which they aren't powered, but they will spin. They're free to turn. There's a lot of highly detailed parts. The handrails are very finely detailed. One of the things I like about these models is they've really stepped up the detailing on the trucks. It's just the most highly detailed trucks I've ever seen on any model. You know, whenever you do something new for the first time, it's important to make a good impression. I think they've really had that philosophy and have really stepped up the detail everywhere. The trucks really shows that. Even things like the windshield wiper detail on the front here is just fabulous. The lighted cab, which we have the lights on it now, is really nice.
And the detail in the cab is terrific.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
The detail all the way around on the front with the air hoses and all the lines and whatnot, very, very nicely done. Overall, very impressive.
Cool. Well, let's take it for a test spin.
Let's get them started. Blow the horn. We'll give them some throttle.
Now, this first edition or this first offering to of locomotives, what are they producing?
Well, this model is available in 3 different road names: Conrail, Pennsylvania, and Burlington. General Electric entered the market. It was their first 6-axle loco. Production began in 1963, went for about 2 years. Into 65, they built about 113 total. It was later replaced with an upgraded horsepower with the U28, which was 2,800 horsepower. Some of the railroads that received them was the Atlantic Coast Line, the Louisville and Nashville, the Northern Pacific, the Pennsylvania Railroad, and the CB&Q.
And obviously some lasted into the Conrail era because we have the Conrail paint scheme.
Yes, that's right.
So I'm excited about this locomotive. How do I get one?
Well, we're taking pre-orders now. First shipment should arrive in July 2015, approximately. Certainly before the end of the summer. We're hoping July, latest by August, we'll have our first shipment in.
And what kind of pricing are we talking?
Well, with the WOW sound equipped, it's $299.95. You can also get them without sound, just DC only, for $199.95.
With the WOW sound decoder, there's the Keep Alive in it?
Yes, certainly. Keep Alive is a system of storing the energy there, so when you go over dirty track or problematic switches and frogs and whatnot, and you lose electrical power, the Keep Alive keeps you powering right through that. I can demonstrate that here, for those who haven't seen it before.
There you go. It'll keep going, and you can see that the lights are still powered even, and they're slowly going out. But that'll take care of any dirty track or any frog that's maybe not powered. They'll power right over it and not have to worry about it. Well,
and this is the first locomotive, as far as I'm aware, that comes with that feature built in from the factory.
Oh, well, that's a neat selling point then. All right, John, well, thank you very much. We hope to see a lot more from TCS as far as Korean brass, and great products from TCS as far as decoders. So thanks very much for coming in.